The third season of Squid Game nearly ended in a different way. The author, Hwang Dong-hyuk, intended for the series finale to have a happy ending, even if it may be difficult to imagine one in the vicious and violent world of Squid Game. The showrunner and director had initially intended a different ending for the third and final season of the program, but after giving it some thought, he changed his mind, he told Vanity Fair. "I had an idea for an ending where Gi-hun survives the games and travels to the United States to see his daughter when I was first thinking about seasons 2 and 3, he told the magazine. "In a way, it was a happy conclusion. As soon as I really started writing, however, I began to consider what I wanted to convey with this program. How am I supposed to communicate with the world? I thought the present conclusion would be more fitting at that point." The series concludes on a less optimistic note. Baby 222, the newborn child of the late player Junhee, Jo Yuri, and Gi-hun, Lee Young-jae, are the last two players remaining in the game. Gi-hun makes a spectacular sacrifice in order to earn the prize money and let the youngster to escape the arena alive. In an epilogue, the front man travels to America to meet Gi-hun's daughter and give her her father's possessions as well as the remainder of his winnings from the last game. According to Hwang, who explained why he decided to alter the conclusion, "I felt that the world had gotten even worse compared when I was working on season 1. Economic disparity was widening, the prospect of conflict was escalating globally, the number of disadvantaged individuals slipping outside the social safety net was rising, and there were no practical answers to the climate issue. It seemed as if the younger generation's optimism for the future was waning. I thus believed that, as a member of the elder generation, it was time for us to stop our unrelenting greed and selfishness, at least to some degree, in order to leave a better planet for future generations. We need to start making sacrifices and giving real consideration to how we might build a better future, in my opinion. I wanted to convey the idea that this is how we must look at giving the future generation a better world," he later stated, having Gi-hun, an elder generation member, sacrifice himself to rescue that youngster. That seems like the best conclusion for this series. According to Hwang, he had a vague idea that Gi-hun and a few of the other major characters, and maybe including the baby as well, would survive and leave the island. He also discussed his initial plans for the conclusion. "I saw the police and Junho, Ha-jun, showing up at the appropriate moment during the last game, and Gi-hun finishing the game with assistance rather than by himself. The present conclusion has been a huge streaming hit, despite the fact that it isn't what fans had imagined." The third season of Squid Game, according to Netflix, broke the record for most views for a show in its first 3 days and has placed number 1 in 93 countries since its release.